Yeah, I think it's one of those rare teams, and you don't really see it that much in the NFL anymore, where you hear a team's name and you instantly think of the running back. I mean, how common is that? It's typically the quarterback, maybe it is a wide receiver or something like that. But yeah, to me, it's the Tennessee Titans synonymous with this running back for sure.
Yeah, but in terms of what he does, I mean, you see it. I mean, he's 200 yards clear of everybody else.
Right.
His touchdown numbers, he's hit double figures already. The pace he's on, I don't know whether or not he can keep it up, but if he does, he could be the NFL MVP in a quarterback's league. And Dan Patrick said this a couple of days ago, and I thought it was a really interesting take about Derrick Henry. He said, teams are not geared anymore to stop what Derrick Henry does. He's
Hmm.
out of his era, and the Titans have bet on that because they have a cyborg in the backfield, basically. Like
Right.
teams, it's the same thing in the NBA. You're trying to stop the three. Steph Curry broke basketball, so everybody tries to either outscore or stop the three. Mahomes and you guys in Kansas City and what Andy Reid was doing, it became let's stop that and let's find out how to stop Lamar Jackson. And to some degree, neither one of those has been determined yet. The Titans are playing this old school football, and the defense just isn't geared to stop that kind of
Right.
a running attack. And as a result, you add to it just his natural skills and the underrated speed. I would say that's the one thing that people don't get. He's not a first level runner. He's a second level runner. If
Hmm.
you want to stop Derrick Henry, you got to get him early and you got to get him high. You're not going to take him down with ankle tackles, but he wins by attrition, Pete. First three quarters, he might get three, he might get four, but they're just going to keep handing it to him. That's the game plan for the Tennessee Titans. And then all of a sudden you look up and he gets a 76-yard run, or he gets a 95-yard run, or he chunks off a 20, a 25, a 17, something like that in the fourth quarter. And then you look up and he's got 150 yards. Like that is how he does what he does. Then on the flip side, I will say this. In pass protection, he's a liability, which is
Hmm.
why he's often off the field in third down situations. They bring somebody else in. He has improved as a pass catching running back. I mean, nobody's ever going to confuse him for Alvin Kamara or somebody like
Right.
that. But in pass protection, he's not somebody that picks up blocks particularly well. He's gotten Tannehill sacked a few times this season. That's not what he's out there to do. But in terms of his speed, when he hits the second level, I mean, the touchdown he had on Monday against Buffalo, I think he was 21.8 miles per hour. At his size, that's like getting hit by a small car.
So is the best way to counteract that? I mean, I know way easier said than done, but it seems like second half two score lead because if the Titans need to throw the football, they'd prefer that he not even be on the field.
Yeah, one of the narratives that a lot of people will push back against here is the idea that you can take Derrick Henry out of the game if you get a
Hmm.
lead early, because the Titans aren't going to change what they do. Now, obviously, if you're up 3 touchdowns, you have to
Right.
start monitoring things. But if they have to go no huddle with him, they'll go no huddle with him. They're going to
Okay.
ride or die with this guy. Now, look, they've got talented wide receivers. Julio hasn't really been available consistently this year, but A.J. Brown's a stud. A.J. Brown, most people are starting to learn who he is. And when you go back to the superstar conversation, he's
Right.
on the cusp. I wouldn't say he's necessarily there nationally, but he's on the cusp of it. So they can beat you there if they have to. But the way to take Derrick Henry out of the game is get to third down. If you
Yeah.
can get the Titans to third down and 6, he's off the
Hmm.
field. Most of the
Right.
time, you'll watch this on Sunday. It will happen. I promise you. Your audience, your listeners, you'll look at the sideline. CBS will cut to the sideline, and Derrick Henry will be standing there on third down and 5. You're like, why would that guy be out of the game? And it's because he can't protect Ryan Tannehill, and Jeremy McNichols or whoever else is going to be better in the flat or in that first level, catching a quick screen or something like that and going upfield with it.